What is going on, Jeromes? We're about the halfway point of a training camp. First preseason game is in the books. Feels like fall. I'm ready to get hurt again. My other football team is already hurting me. It happens. But after the first preseason game, here is our 53-man roster projection 17.0. I don't know, man. So, color coding. Purple is rooster. Blue is practice squad. Red, cut. And we got 53 on the roster. 16 plus 1 on the practice squad. Spoiler, so let's dive on in. At quarterback, so rostering all three: Cousins, Nick Mullins, Jaron Hall. And you could say, sure, if Jaron Hall doesn't necessarily show something in joint practices and the two preseason games, maybe they waive him, try and get him onto the practice squad, try and save a roster spot. You could see that, but I think that Jaron Hall is going to show enough where it's going to be a little tough to get him through. And remember, you can protect players on the practice squad up to 4, but they have to go through waivers initially to start. Running back wise, so this could get interesting since they did have a visit with Kareem Hunt. It's still on the table that they could sign him. I think it says a lot more about the availability of King Kene and Wangu, as he's still sidelined with an injury, rather than anyone else. But Madison, Ty Chandler, I think they're right now they're 1-2. The rookie Dwayne McBride got a little bit of work to do. Also, powerful Abram Smith coming out of Baylor. You could say practice squad. You could say cut. I sort of go. I sort of go wherever. But also, if you think about it, so 53-man roster. 16 plus 1 on the practice squad with Junior Aho, international pathway player. I mean, that's 70 players out of 90 that are making this team in some capacity. That's a lot. It is a lot. Wide receivers going 5 deep. Right now, we got Justin Friggin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, KJ, Jalen Rager. Stepping up in year 4, Brandon Powell, the former Los Angeles Ram. So those are the 5 on the roster right now. I don't think Jalen Naylor has done enough to earn a 53. I mean, he did have a great OTA minicamp and first day of training camp, but he's been injured ever since. Also could be a waived injured spot or a on the 53, then add to the IR at the start of the season sort of deal. Thayer Thomas, a UDFA punt returner, a slot machine from NC State. I think he's super interesting. N'Keal Harry is in the mix, and I know what you're saying. Cutting Tristan Jackson, Lucky Jackson, Blake Prohl. Those are 3 really good names, and I could easily see them mixed in. But then again, who are you cutting? Who are you getting rid of? Like, could you swap out Tristan Jackson for N'Keal Harry? Maybe. Lucky Jackson for Thayer Thomas? I wouldn't be mad at you. Blake Prohl for Jalen Naylor? Probably not, but I mean, it's going to be close. I think it is relatively going to be close. And I think beyond the top 3, I mean, there's going to be a lot of mixing and matching, and these next 2 weeks are going to be very important for the career of a couple of these wide receivers. Next up. So I think the Vikings may have the deepest tight end room in the NFL. Hockenson, Oliver, Johnny Munt, who Kevin O'Connell has says is the best tight end 3 in the game. Josh Oliver, the blocking machine. TJ, for my money, is going to be a top 3 fantasy tight end this year, and he's not going to be 3, he's not going to be 2. Nick Muse catching the touchdown, also looking really good as a target and blocker in the first preseason game. Let go Colin Thompson, the long snapping tight end, as well as the UDFA Ben Sims. For the offensive line, keep a 9, which is pretty standard. So Darisaw, Ezra, Bradbury, Ed Ingram, Brian O'Neill, and then your backups are Brandel, both as a guard and tackle backup, Schlutman as the utility backup, Alan Ali, the UDFA from TCU, making a push for the Rooster, as well as Oli Udoh right now. Practice squad, Vidarian Lowe. So Vidarian Lowe played left tackle the entire preseason game. Oh, no, man. The veteran Chris Reed is still currently on NFI. If he's activated, he's going to make the practice squad. Jack Snyder, the Snyder cut from San Jose State, potentially making a push there. And other than that, it's like Josh Sokol has had his opportunities. Jackie Chen hasn't really gotten going. Christian DeLauro had a really rough preseason game, and Jared Williams is also in the mix as well. But, hey, Dalton Reisner one time. Add it to the mix, please. Please, please, please. Defensively, All right, so starting along the defensive line, keeping 6. Harrison Phillips, Kyrus Tonga, Dean Lowry as your starting 3, and then Jonathan Bullard, Jaquelin Roy, the rookie, as well as Asazio Tamuo, rounding out your 6 on the 53. Practice squad, TJ Smith, getting his hands up there, the nose tackle, also getting a little bit of a pass rush there. Also cut Sheldon Day, Ross Blacklock, and the UDFA Calvin Avery. Then for edge rushers, so keeping 5 on the roster, and this one's going to be tough because for what they paid for Andre Carter, $340 guaranteed, which is a lot for a UDFA. Yes, he's a little bit behind right now, just coming off of the PUP list, but would a team snatch him up if they try to get him through waivers onto the practice squad before they can protect him? Maybe. But I mean, who else do you let go? Or do you just keep 6 edge rushers initially? Because Daniil Davenport, Wanham, Patrick Jones second has shown flashes. Luigi Villain had himself a ball game against the Seahawks. Who do you let go? It's tough. And then you got Junior Aho, the International Pathway Program player from SMU. He wouldn't count on the 53 or the practice squad, so the Vikings get an extra bonus spot there. And then 2 cut Benton Whitley as well as Curtis Weaver, formerly of Boise State, linebackers off ball. So this got shaken up a little bit. So we got Asamoah, who's still injured, fortunately. Ivan Pace Jr., might start week 1. Straight up, man. The veteran Jordan Hicks. And then I got Tanner Vallejo coming in from Arizona, special team superstar. And I think that he is going to make a push. I really do. And he swapped out with William Kwenku, who was injured, waived with the injury designation. Maybe he'll end up on IR. Practice squad, 2 veterans, Troy Reeder, Troy Dye, and then cut Abraham Beauplan, Wilson Huber. Now, you could convince me to swap out one of the veterans for one of the UDFAs, maybe a Reeder for Beauplan or Dye for Huber, one of those 2 spots there. Then cornerback-wise, going 5 deep. So Blackman, Caleb Evans, Byron Murphy Jr. So Evans and Murphy are your 2 starters. Then Booth might be in trouble. Booth might be in a lot of trouble, man. Then you got the UDFA Jalen Williams, who had himself an interception. He's played really well in the slot with the 2s. Practice squad, Najee Thompson, the pride of Georgia State, really helped himself out in terms of special teams. I think he stays in the sphere. Joanne Williams, now, Joanne Williams played great, had a beautiful PBU in the end zone against the Seahawks. Could you swap out Booth for Williams? Actually, no, screw it. I'm going to do it. Even though I would have given the edge to Booth just because he was a high second-round pick. And, I mean, GMs have egos, and it would be embarrassing to say just sort of giving up on a guy after year 2. And putting him on waivers and subjecting him to that process would be essentially waving the white flag a little bit. But I don't know. Either way, Booth has talent, but he's got to stay healthy. He's got to stay on the field, man. Safety-wise, the Vikings have a bit of a logjam at safety. So checking things out, we got 5 on the roster, 1 on the practice squad. Harrison Bynum, Josh Metellus, Lewis Seen, who... I don't know. Just need to lower that pad level just a little bit. Carry on my J-Word son is also in there. Theo Jackson may have played better than any other safety in the preseason game against Seattle. He's flying around making plays, tied for the team lead with tackles with 6, and played some really great special teams. I think he's playing himself into a role here, but carrying 5 safeties is a lot, although Flores does use multiple safeties. Now, if you roster Theo Jackson, who do you take off? Bynum, probably not. Metellus, no. Harrison, obviously not. Seen, no. Jay Ward, no. So I guess it would be close. And then the specialists. So Joseph beats out Pudlesny, the UDFA from Georgia, but just keeping him in the sphere. I mean, you got 16 practice squad spots. Why the hell not? Well, 17 with Junior Aho, but everything else is Gordon Hoyle, Ryan Wright, Andrew DePaulo. So your 17-player practice squad is... Abram Smith, the running back from Baylor, a little bit more power, a little bit more bounce for the ounce. 3 receivers, Jalen Naylor, Thayer Thomas, N'Keal Harry now. Tristan Jackson should be in that mix, coming back from injury. Lucky Jackson has looked good at times too. Blake Prohl's not going away, so It's going to be a really interesting competition to follow as we get towards the end here. Nick Muse is in the mix. 3 offensive linemen, Vidarian Lowe, Chris Reed, Jack Snyder. The defensive lineman, TJ Smith. International pathway player, Junior Aho. Then you got Carter, who... It may be tough getting him through waivers, but we'll see. Reader and Dye, but again, it could be Beauplan or Huber. Najee Thomas, Joanne Williams. Now, you could say that's Andrew... Booth Jr. There you go. Theo Jackson, Jack Podlesny round things out on the practice squad. But that's it. Let's take a look at our 53-man roster projection number. What are we on? 17.0 after the first preseason game. Let us know your thoughts on our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.